All right, y'all, today we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business. Going to check out its local and city search. They're actually combined this time. See if it has BSS. So we're back here in the GBC universe. We're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, the home video, pinned video, somewhere around here. And this is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC picture here in white. Over on the left, the highest intent peeps, that's social search, that's Google search, searching, boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And we talk about that here when we talk about BSS. And over on the right, that's the lowest intent peeps, people that ain't searching for that right now, most often have no idea what the heck boudoir even is. So they actually, So we actually have to reach them via interruption ads on Facebook and Instagram. Talk about that over on our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we currently only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads, and where we talk about BLCS over there. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. That is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. And having 0 slots, our business is dying a fast death because 0 slots page 1 means we're on page 2 or deeper. And as a result, we are invisible to approximately 80% of the market. 80% of, that approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So we're done a fast death there. Page 1 Google search, not good either. We're looking the same as everyone. The other 9 boudoir photographers, I'll be there each with one link. So we're essentially invisible there as well. And 0-1 slots of page 1 Google is not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, basically everyone knows that. Someone's getting a new iPhone, new camera gear. Just over time, more people enter the marketplace. They throw up their Google My Business profile saying they have for boudoir photo shoots. They are throwing up, basically they're throwing up their website saying they now do boudoir photography. They're posting the mom groups that they now offer boudoir. And as a result, more boudoir photography sellers, same number of buyers, harder for every single boudoir photographer. Next, something that's not previously known is the false belief of page 1 equality. This is where boudoir photographers kind of accepted, kind of without thinking about it, that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, and that's simply, simply how it is. And as a result, they are, kind of maybe they're slot 8 on page 1, and some market saturation happened. Now they're slot 2 on page 2. They're kind of like, oh, well, that's simply how it is. Hopefully, those people delete their websites and Google stops indexing them and ranking them. So maybe Google will pull me back up onto page 1. So this is 100% incorrect. We've actually discovered Google will give us as many page 1 slots as we want to acquire. And as a result, as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And we discovered this with our new methodology where I was able to go from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search. And we were actually able to do that all in 10 days. So we'll see those results in like 2 more pictures here. We also know that boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. And it's kind of the first warning light, the canary in the coal mine, that that our boudoir photography business is on the path to disappearing as well. But what we've discovered is BSS is treated with social search saturation S-cube methodology. We discovered this because we invented it. And it works exactly as it says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city, so we show up there. This is kind of like the snow at the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America on the eastern side, the backside. And what happens to that snow is it melts into small streams, small rivers, and it actually all flows down, flows together into the Amazon River. The Amazon River is page 1 on Google. So it all starts with saturating social search, which then allows it to flow into page 1 on Google. And what's interesting is this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can successfully compete against market saturation in a relatively quick time frame. So still allow business to grow in a relatively quick time frame without ever, without taking a long time. The second option is actually building a large, well-known brand. Dude, that takes 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years. We got AI here taking everyone's jobs. We need results faster, way faster in 5 to 10 years. And so brand is off the table for right now at this time. And something interesting about SQ methodology is I actually believe my estimates is it can actually help build a brand, large, well-known brand, approximately 8x faster than standard methods because we're on so many surfaces, so many times, and actually kind of utilizing the mere exposure effect for our benefit here. So here's an example of fighting back against the market saturation with SQ methodology. Let's say we are, let's say we are in Memphis, Tennessee. There's 1 million boudoir photographers. We're one of them. And as a result, everyone's got their website saying they do boudoir photography. Everyone's trying to rank page 1 on Google. So ultra competitive and realize, man, we ain't got no brand. We got to really fight. Like literally SQ methodology, the only solution out there that can help us with this. So we start using it and we actually crank it up like maximum. And let's say that gives us the first 300 slots page 1, or first 300 slots social search against all of the, against all of the on all the social networks. That let's say that flows onto Google, and we get the first 300 organic slots on Google as well. So it's like 10 slots per page, and 10 slots per page means we're taking up basically the first 30 pages of Google search. So we got everywhere boudoir buyer looks, social search, Google search, basically only the one they can find. So whose business is going to be growing? Obviously ours. We're the only one people can be finding. Whose business is going to be dying, disappearing, going away? Obviously every other, with our 999,999 boudoir photography competitors in our marketplace. And as a result, we actually, it's kind of the only option for us that gives us a chance to keep growing. So that's what's special about SQ methodology. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we have page 1 visibility. Initial benefit, obviously, more page 1 links to Google search. And we've got this new secondary benefit where every new link we get page 1 Google search, we're actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page 1, effectively making them invisible to the approximately 80% of searchers that are never even reach page 2. They're page 1 searchers only, which means making them visible to the bulk of the marketplace. So a lot of boudoir photographers say they actually like this benefit the most. And page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So the GBC universe has a recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google. And that's the recommended minimum because basically everyone else is going to have 1 slot, so we're going to be dominating them on page 1. In the ultra rare case, someone has 2 slots. Well, our 3 slots are also going to be dominating them. So we're basically covering all scenarios by having 3 out of 10. Finally, we know that a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer. So this is our micro-universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. That's fine. Simply search. Well, we'll simply use our SQ methodology social search saturation. And that gives us page one visibility, turns us into a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Now onto my results using SQ methodology. I wanted to rank for this keyword BLCS boudoir. So I already knew that SQ methodology was the number one, basically the number one option for me to do this. And let's go to the organic slots to see my results. So let's see what I got here. So I got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days, purely by using S-cubed methodology. No website even needed. All right, now here to the main event. And check out this boudoir photography business. Looks like we're heading up to Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Gonna see if this business has BSS with this search. All right, so see what we got here. Boom, we got one. Boom, we got two. All right, so we got 2 out of 10. So what does that mean? That's good. We do not have BSS, but we are not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google search for this local slash, combined local slash city search. All right, so see where we're at here, Fond du Lac. All right, so we got one. Boom. We got two. Boom. All right, so we got 2 out of 10, page 1 Google slots 4, our combined local slash city search. So that's good. It means we do not have BSS, boudoir search sameness. We don't have 0 or 1 slots, page 1 Google search, but we have not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google search. All right, so if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local searches, you've done your city searches for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, and you've had 0 or 1 slots, so you've had BSS for at least one of those, and, or you have not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google for any one of those, and you've accepted the false belief of page 1 equality. So you actually know Google wants to give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to take. And you're seeing S-cube methodology is the only way forward, the only path forward to acquire all those slots. It's actually, you've been waiting for something like this. And you're liking the initial benefits of S-cube methodology, more slots, page 1 on Google. You really like that page 1 on Google. You actually really can kick your competitors off page 1 on Google, effectively making them invisible or making them disappearing, and making their business go down the path of disappearing. So you really like that. And you actually want, actually looking ahead because you understand market saturation and you're realizing that AI is going to be taking more and more people's jobs. So not only do you need these slots on Google, you actually need to overslot on Google. You need to fortify your position for all of the new boudoir photographers that are going to be entering the marketplace. And as a result, the only solution you can see that'll help you fortify your position on page 1, literally get like so many links to page 1 that Google can't even rank all your links on page 1, and they push you back to taking over page 2 and 3 and 4 because you got so many page 1 backup links. The only solution you see that can provide that benefit is S-cube methodology, basically like fortifying the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city's below sea level, so fortifying it against the ocean. You're fortifying this against current boudoir, current boudoir photographers getting anywhere on page 1, and also any future boudoir photographers or AI is taking their jobs, force them to become boudoir photographer, ever ranking page 1 on as well. And you want to achieve page 1 visibility. You want to become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility because you know you need these things on your way to become the number 1 boudoir photographer in your city. You also understand S-cube methodology is basically building invisible thematic keyword columns on the, kind of out in cyberspace. basically in the AI mindshare in cyberspace, kind of have these columns connected to your brand, your business name, your social handles out there in cyberspace, where AI really cares about, repetition, relevance, frequency, authority, age of all these invisible thematic keyword columns. And every day we successfully execute methodology and grow those columns, increase those columns. We're increasing the probability we show up here AI overview, which means we're also increasing which is the most premium search placement there is. Cannot pay for this. And we're also increasing the probability that AI search recommends us. And we don't get any of these benefits paying for any ads. This is only through S-cubed methodology. And increased probability AI search recommends us, and that'd be things like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, kind of increase in probability we show up in these searches, which these searches increase every single day in usage. I remember the last time I searched ChatGPT for boudoir photographers in the city, it gave me 3. And I actually went and did a manual Google and search and Facebook search. And dude, there's like 60. It's like, man, we got to find some way to get one of these 3 slots. And yeah, SQ methodology is the only solution you see out there that does increase that probability every day that we successfully execute it. And you're also like in that, it can help you create a large, well-known brand, approximately 8x faster than every other method. So market saturation becomes less and less a problem for you. And imagine if you continue using SQ methodology when you have a large, well-known brand, essentially be, unbeatable. And you also understand that my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. And so as a result, you're liking that you can get all these benefits, but also exclude your competitors from getting all these benefits. And you can actually build up, you can kick them off their first pages, Google, fortify page 1 against them to never actually increase, never actually get back onto page 1, essentially. And you can also build up such a large kind of gap with the backend AI mindshare with those keywords, those invisible thematic keyword columns, that your competitors in the city really have no chance to ever catch up to you. So you decide to be a first mover and actually acquire all these things, all these benefits, and exclude your competitors from getting all these benefits. And you understand the converse, where if one of your competitors in your city was a first mover and signed out with me before you, they'd be getting all these benefits. You'd be kicked off page 1 on Google, maybe even page 2, relegated, way deep in the catalog. Definitely be disappearing. You would definitely be a disappearing boudoir photographer. We'd then be fortifying it, page 1 against you ever climbing back on there. We'd be building the backend AI keyword mindshare for your boudoir photography competitor in your city, building up their brand, building up a gap so large that basically no other competitor, including you, could ever reach them. And in order to compete with that, you would have to rederive SQ methodology all on your own. And once you rederive that all on your own, you'd never actually be 100% confident you've derived it correctly. You would actually have to then go successfully execute every single day, same as us. And then when you do that, the most that you would get is you would maintain the gap me and your competitor have already built in front of you, because you'd be equaling our output each day. So you'd have to actually 2 to 3x our output every single day, but it'd be hard to commit that much time because, again, you're not even 100% confident you've derived the strategy correctly in the first place. And, to do all this, who's got 80 hours in the day? So you're deciding, screw that. You decide you're going to be the first mover in your city. And as a result, that's you. Shoot us a DM. Our DMs are currently closed because the hospital is currently closed for new patient intake. But when the hospital does reopen for new patient intake, shoot us a DM, and we will see if you qualify to utilize our S-cubed methodology.